If you've ever stared at your bank account and thought, how am I going to do this? You're not alone. And if that tightness in your chest and that knot in your stomach feels like a constant companion, then today's live is for you. As I've worked with women who struggled with anxiety, I have seen that there are four different things that they tend to worry about. One is lack of time, the other is health, the other is family, and the other is lack of finances. And I've worked full time for most of my life. And so, although my finances were almost always tight, I can't say that I had a lack of them unless I was going to school. Then I had lots of lack. But over the last 5 years, as I've been called into a different walk of life with the Lord, that lack of finances has become a struggle. And as I talk with my women who struggle with anxiety, I notice that they also struggle with a lack of finances. And it just kind of brings up the question, if we choose to follow God, if we choose to follow a path that He's inviting us along, that He's whispering in our hearts, does lack of finances become part of the problem? And I know that the answer to that question is actually not yes, because there are plenty of people that I know that are following their whisper, or following their path, or following their calling, and not experiencing financial strain. I want to talk to you today about what it's like to have financial strain and to follow your calling. Because when there's not enough money, our brain tends to go into survival mode. We tend to go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. I either get really, really feisty and I want to fight back, or I want to run away, or we freeze. We procrastinate, we put things off because we just don't really know. Or we kind of bargain with God, right? We go to Him and we're like, well, Lord, this isn't working. And so what is it that I've done wrong? And I don't know that we have done anything wrong. I just think that when we follow that whisper, when we follow that calling, that a big part of it is deepening our relationship with God. And a big part of that is learning to trust Him in all of our struggles, and especially in our finances. Financial stress is a chronic thing for many people. It's not just one bad day, it's weeks and months of juggling, borrowing from tomorrow, living on the edge. Anxiety around money isn't just a math problem, it's a soul ache. And unfortunately, when our souls ache, we often tend to pull away from God. It puts us in self-doubt because we just don't know anymore, right? Is what I'm doing the right thing? Am I following the right path? Am I where am I where I am supposed to be? Sometimes we say things to ourselves like, if I had more faith, then I would know how to do this. Or if I had more faith, I wouldn't be afraid. Or if I was walking the right path that God's put me on, then finances would come. We feel ashamed. We feel incompetent. Most of us are women who have done all kinds of amazing things. We deal with crises, we mentor people, we help people, we serve people. And then when it comes to finances, we're just like, I don't really know how to make this all work. We hustle harder. We try to fix it ourselves. We stop praying, or at least we stop praying about our finances because nothing's changing and we don't really know what to do. When I find myself in this situation, I often think of Luke 12:12, where it says that the Holy Spirit will give us the words when we don't have them. And I have to tell you that in the last number of months, I've been in that space over and over and over again. I'll just be like, Lord, I just don't know. Is there something you're trying to tell me? Is there something you want me to be doing differently? And yet, in my heart of hearts, I know that I am doing what the Lord wants me to do. I know that He wants me to work with women who struggle with anxiety. And a big part of anxiety is lack of finances. So it feels a little bit like a catch-22. Sometimes we say things like, I know that God provides. He is Jehovah Jireh. But we don't really think He's going to provide for us because we're not seeing it. And ladies, it requires a great deal of faith to hang on when we're in that state. It requires a belief that being a child of God is about deepening our relationship with Him, about growing closer with Him, that we believe the words in the Bible that says He will not leave us, that we believe the words that say that He loves us, that He takes care of us more than the sparrows of the sky or the lilies of the field. When anxiety brings us to our knees, we speak to the Lord with raw and honest prayers. We start asking Him those deeper questions about contentment. What is it like for me to be content? Am I to be content in this space? Who am I? Am I really your child, Lord? Are you really taking care of me, Lord? And I know it definitely affects our trust level. Where is God when things get to be really, really tight with finances? What am I supposed to do about it? And it just becomes an ache within us and a bit of a barrier between us and the Lord. And so we have a decision to make. Am I going to trust this feeling that I have that I don't matter to Him, or that things are never going to get better, or that God isn't doing anything about it? Or do I go to Him and I just say, Lord, I know that you have this in hand because you are my God, you are my Father, you love me, and you will provide? Do we start every single day just saying to the Lord, I know that today you have my provision in hand. I trust it, I believe it. And that in Proverbs, when it says we trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not unto our own understanding, He will guide our paths. He promises to do that. And so we settle ourselves on those words. We sit in those words and we say, Lord, I know that this is what your word says. And so I'm choosing to believe it. And that's just all there is to it. So in your own life, has financial stress made you cling to God? Or has it made you avoid Him? And if it's made you cling to Him, how has that changed for you? What's that changed in you? Is there a certainty that there wasn't before? And if you're avoiding Him, is that a way that you do things in life? Because I know it can be for me. When I feel like God is not showing up in a way that makes sense to me, I often think that I've done something wrong. And I don't want to do something wrong when it comes to my relationship with the Lord. And so I do tend to create distance. I start praying more for other people. I pray more for things that aren't finances, just whatever's going on. I don't touch finances. I don't really want to talk to the Lord about them. And then there's that whisper, that drawing, that come closer to me, Florence. Satan loves it when I create distance between myself and the Lord. He's won when I do that. And I remind myself of that when I start to feel myself pulling away. The lie is, you're failing. You should be further along. God is disappointed in you. But the truth is, God says, I am near to the brokenhearted. I provide daily bread. I know your needs. I am Jehovah Jireh. I am the God who provides. I invite you to read Matthew 6, verses 25 to 34, so that you know as you know as you know that God the Father is your provider. And so if you're struggling with finances, I encourage you to look at Psalm 3, where David goes to the Lord and he says, I'm in trouble, but I believe that you will take care of it. And Lord, I also ask that you take care of all of the Israelites while I have a nap. Now, please know that that's my paraphrasing of Psalm 3. But David shows us how to do it. Just name it. Dear God, I am so scared. I'm so afraid that you've forgotten me. And I'm actually angry. because you called me into this walk. And now it feels like you're not providing. And I'm waiting and I'm sitting and I don't know. And Lord, because I feel like you haven't been coming, you haven't been coming alongside me, I'm trying to do it alone and I'm failing. I can't do it alone. Lord, I want to hold your hand. Please hold mine. And go to the Lord and say, Lord, I've been feeling really incompetent. I feel really embarrassed and kind of ashamed that I can't make this work. And listen for his answer. What does he tell you? Often he'll tell me that he loves me. Sometimes I tell him that's not enough. I need a little more than that today, Lord, because I know you love me, but the finances are a real thing. I know I'm not less important to the Lord because I'm struggling with my finances. He loves me and he loves you. And the best place for us to be is right beside him. If you have knees that can bend, then you bend your knees and you get before the Lord. If you don't have knees that can bend, then you get before him some other way. I would encourage you that if this is something that you're struggling with, that you go and sit in your favorite spot or you go for a walk in your favorite spot and you just tell him, these are all the things, Lord, that I'm struggling with. And these are all the feelings that I have. I feel incompetent. I feel like I should know better by now. I feel like I should be further along. I feel like I should be able to handle this. The Lord has the answers for us. Excuse me. And then I say, find a verse that just fits for you. A verse that fits. Ask Auntie Google, is there a verse around finances that really, really will speak to me? And write it somewhere or take a screenshot of it so that you can look at it often. My life verse is in Proverbs, and it says, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. And ladies, I hold on to that verse with both hands, sometimes with my arms, with my entire heart, because what he says in his word is true. And so I want to believe that. I must believe that. I can't live another way. And then lift that verse to him. Lord, it says in your word that I don't have to lean on my own understanding. You will direct my paths. Lord, it says in your word, you will provide daily bread. It says in your word that you are close to the brokenhearted. And Lord, today I'm just asking you for wisdom for this next step, this next thing that I am to do so that I can see your provision. And this is something he's done for me over the last while. You know, I love working with Christian women who are struggling with anxiety because I know that it is something that the Lord never intended for us to carry. And yet most of my life was beset with anxiety, and that of my mother and of my sisters and some of my other siblings, my nieces. And I wanted to walk alongside people because God took that anxiety away from me through a very particular path that he set me on. A lot of that had to do with sitting near him, talking with him, reading his word, praying it through. And so he's given me a new thing to do over this last few weeks. A program that is allowing me to earn in the background. A program that is allowing me to find finances in a different way than I thought I was going to do. And it took me a little while to let go of some of the ideas that I had about how God was going to provide for me financially. I had to grieve some of the things that I thought were going to happen. I also had to really, really trust that the Lord that I put my hand in, that he was leading me in the way that he meant for me to go. You don't have to carry the weight of your finances alone. God sees, God cares, and he's not withholding from you because he wants to punish you. God is always inviting us into a deeper relationship with Him. If you're feeling pulled back to God today, that's not an accident. It's the Holy Spirit nudging you. Don't ignore it, answer it. And if you need help with finances, I'm working on a program. I call it Freedom with Florence. And it is a program that helps us to earn money while we're learning things about finances and things about business and things about marketing. And if this is something that interests you, if you want to earn a passive income, if you want to have an other income that can work for you while you're sleeping, then DM me the word trust. And I know trust is a hard thing, it's a big thing, but I'd love to talk to you about this new thing that I'm doing because I think that it is the fourth thing that God is going to have my program take care of. So the program that I have, Journey to Joy, which is my one-to-one program, and Radiant Renewal, which is my group program, they already take care of the three other worries that women have: health and lack of time and family. My program helps you make changes to your health, makes you become way more efficient with your time just because of some of the things that we've changed, and it helps you build strong, solid relationships with your family. And this is the piece that was missing, the finances piece. So this program is still new to me. So if you want to learn and earn with me, then let me know. And I'd be happy to like walk alongside you as we do this. Comment trust or DM me trust, and I will send you more information about this. Ladies, just remember, you are not alone. God is always with you, and He sends us people alongside to walk with us, especially in our biggest problems. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will chat with you later.